Hi guys, today I'll be showing you how you're gonna rank for keywords in the security system niche like CCTV and AutoGate. This is one of our clients that we did their website for. So if I can show you quickly, everything about the website talks about security systems. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you have to include when it comes to explaining what a security system is. Things like CCTV, AutoGate. Obviously, the company provides these services. That is the first thing you have to ensure, that the actual company actually provides these services, because if you're ranking for a keyword and the company is not providing the services, then you're just wasting your time and you're wasting their time as well. But luckily for us, we have a client that is doing security services for commercials, homes, residentials, apartments, and whatnot. You get the gist of it, right? So now, if I were to refer to you, this is because we're in Kuching. So if I were to, this is a very understandable keyword for anything, for any niche. If people want to look for like petrol stations or KFC, they will always type near me, right? So it's a psychological thing that people look at, and it's easier instead of thinking about typing suburb keywords or names of different neighborhoods. It's easier to say just near me. Okay, so if I were to type in CCTV near me and I'm in Kuching, you can see we are ranked number 2 here. Now, if I were to show you how we actually write the thing, because all these keywords here, everything that we wrote here, there is a meaning to it. There is a reason why we do it. Okay, so if I can show you a little bit on how we do it, and obviously not the entire thing, because this took us hours to build one page. So let's get back to it. Obviously the page is about, we're talking about services. Okay, so obviously in your URL you have to talk about the service. So the service is CCTV. So they're not necessarily selling the CCTV, they're selling a service. They have a certain amount of products, not every single range in the world, but their main concern is to just give a simple solution of CCTV of a certain kind. Okay, so you would have to talk about, it protects state-of-the-art CCTV Ionic. Now this is a brand keyword. It helps when your brand is the same as your website, and also you have something underneath here at the footer where it talks about what Ionic system security systems is. And if you have Ionic security systems in your domain, then everything's connected, right? So you have the brand, because think of it like this: if you're a brand, if you're a name of a company, and your domain is not named after a company, why would you want to do that? A business would always want a company that is invested as the domain that they have bought, and it only makes sense that you only invest in a domain that's the same name as the domain that has the same name as the business itself. So this is one way, this is a ranking factor that Google looks at in terms of legitimacy. I'm not saying it's going to work for every niche, but I'm saying if you're a SME, if you're a business of any kind, it helps to have your brand name inside the domain. All right, so that's the first thing you need. And the second thing is how you're going to distribute all the words of what you're going to talk about, right? So you're securing home for homes, businesses, advanced security solutions, monitoring remote access. These are all connected to the CCTV, right? So think of it like this. So you have CCTV. Obviously, you have a lot of things that's related to it, right? You have monitoring, you have systems, you have 24 hours. These are the few things that is related in one entire thing, and this is what you call entities. The more entities that you mention inside the page, that shows you Google likes your content, and that will rank you. That's on page, guys. So you need to ensure that you know what you're talking about. You need to ensure that you understand the niche. This is why it helps that you actually talk to the business owner, what they do, and how you're going to combine the different entities into one page. Right, now next. Okay, so this is where we're going to talk about advanced solutions, both businesses, homeowners, You get the gist, right? What is CCTV cameras technology, blah blah blah. Key components. Okay, we talk about the CCTV. What are the key components? IP based. Applications of Kuching CCTV surveillance systems in Kuching. Okay, because the business is in Kuching, right? So you see how everything is connected here, word by word. You need to ensure that whatever you write makes sense. You got to talk about local. You got to talk about local problems. You got to talk about the actual entity versus your local knowledge. Talk about benefits, pros and cons. You get the gist of it, right? Now, um, obviously, anyone who's going to look at this, they're going to be, okay, if I'm doing a CCTV niche, I'm just going to copy everything here and I'm just going to put it in another page, right? I'm just going to copy everything here. I'm just going to copy and I'm just going to put in this page and I'm going to rank. Don't ever do that. Why? It's because if I'm already doing it and I'm registered earlier than you and you come in and you copy the exact same thing, we're just going to see this. You're going to see me here and they're probably going to see you here and they're going to compare in terms of recency, in terms of how close is it similarly to my page versus yours. If it's too similar but I'm older than you because I've been in this domain in months and you only recently come in, you're going to go down. That is for sure. So don't do that, guys. This is the 21st century. This is 2025. It doesn't work the same anymore 20 years ago, right? Now, the next unique thing is we have to mention about the location, because if you're a business, you need locations, right? This makes sense because this entity is actually connected. How is it connected? Via your address. That's why I have an address here. Okay. And in Sarawak, there are different cities that you can visit, like Kuching, Limbang, Sibu, Miri, Sarike, Lawas, Bintulu. So everything's connected, you see. So this guy's in Sarawak. So these are the different cities there is in Sarawak. So everything's going to connect. Always remember, when you write things, you got to make sense out of it. Everything has to kind of like connect to each other. You got to help the algorithm by telling them that you understand your topic locally, geographically, and also the actual topical niche that you're talking about. In this context is specifically in the security systems, branched out into CCTV, right? And of course, why you try something? Okay, this is one of those things that we just put it in there. We confirm with the client that we can put this, and of course, these are all the clients that they have done work with, actual clients, real clients that have done work with. Okay, so we're talking about clients. We didn't say customers or whatever. We talk about clients here. There's a very specific reason why you want to do this. So, guys, what I'm trying to show you here is, you know, it's not just about words. You got to really connect and really study it and actually understand it. It took us about maybe 4 hours to kind of vet through. Okay, so now, in terms of FAQs, people say FAQs in SEO doesn't work. That's wrong. Why? It's because they don't work. It's because what they do in FAQs, what most people do in FAQs, is like this is a FAQ section. So from 1 to 10, they pretty much stuff every single keyword in there that makes no sense, that is not connected to this, not connected to this, not connected to this, that is not connected to this. So when things don't connect, no wonder you're not ranking, right? So ensure that everything you've written here, everything makes sense, everything's connected, everything's about CCTV, remoteness, is it waterproof, blah, 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 blah. And of course, at the end, because you're a service page, you're trying to sell a service, right? You're trying to sell. Okay. So there's got to be a section where people can actually type in their details, message, and whatever, so that they can submit, right? Now, if you understand what I'm trying to say is, every time you come out with a service page, if you just follow my template, my skeleton, you will not go wrong. There's a reason why we're ranking number 2 here. Okay. Of course, there's no way for us to beat Facebook ever, right? I mean, I hope we do one day. But what I'm trying to say here is, if you follow the actual skeleton of how we build on page, proper on page, and by the way, this website has 0 backlinks. There are no backlinks for this particular website. I mean, we just build it based on page, based on semantics, and we have to write it in a very specific manner. Now, there's the other thing that I have to talk about. What makes a good home page as well are things like this. Okay, so you go. Now, if let's say you have CCTV, right? But if you connect CCTV with Kuching, this is what you call a bigram. Okay? Because obviously you're connecting two different entities together that talks about geo, right? That's one. And the second thing is, the next thing you want to talk about is, let's say CCTV for residents. Okay, these are two different entities talking about one main entity. This is what you call a trigram. Right. And if you read through our page, we have a series of these talking about this spread throughout. And depending on your competitors over here, how they build it, depending on how they build it, if you write it better than them, then most likely you did very well. Most likely the algorithm favors your content, your page, versus other pages. That's why we rank number 2, right? So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna look up here, you're gonna type in CCTV, and you're gonna see how they actually written the thing, right? CCTV package, CCTV brackets, CCTV package, CCTV this, CCTV Kuching. So you need to kind of like understand CCTV package for home and office, right? Maybe it's CCTV package 4, that's one trigram. Package for home is another trigram. For home and is the 4th trigram. For home and office is the 5th trigram. So there are 5 trigrams over there. So you need to be able to look and read through this and go to Google Docs or Google Sheets and just type it out. And when you have this, go to ChatGPT and just say, I'm going to spread. So if you see your competitors doing like maybe 8 times, this to me, it looks like they're spreading in quite nicely in terms of frequency. If your competitors are saying it 5 times, you got to say it close to 5 times. I'm not saying you got to reach 5 times. You just got to reach close enough, in a sense, so that when Google, the algorithm, reads your page, it understands what you're saying. Okay, go through this, and yeah. So when you go to ChatGPT, you build a page, and you just build a beautiful page, and you're done, guys. Obviously, this works for certain niches, depending on where you are. If you're in KL versus Kuching, you're probably going to face even stiffer competition because those guys know how to do SEO better than you, and they have the resources. If you're doing it alone, like I am, me and another partner of mine, we're only doing it, it's going to take hours. Okay, so but luckily for us in Kuching, it's not so tough for competition. We can still hit it hard, and yeah, and that's all you have to do, guys. So if you need help, 90 days guaranteed. You come with us, we look at how we can build it for you, depending on your niche, depending on where you are, depending on the keyword. Okay, we can look it up. We do a consultation for free. We'll guarantee you 90 days will get you there on first page. Okay, not on position 1, but we'll get you on first page. All right, so if anything, just call us. Just everything's on the website where you can look it up. There's a website here, or you can just look at services here, right? If you want to look at more of our results, okay, these are all the results that we have done for our clients. Security systems, cleaning services, SEO, and tobacco. These are the few things that we can show based on the client's permission, how we actually build the different websites for different niches. You can see it's position 2, position 6 in Australia, position 2, position 4, position 6. Okay, right? So you can look it up or anything, just right here, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible, guys. Thank you very much.